Got you.
Blue Pillar.
Peace, family.
All right, Blue Pillar. We here in Brooklyn, man.
Peace to you and yours, brother.
You know,
Blue, Port Live and Direct.
Blue be out of town, you know what I'm saying?
Yes, indeed. Just getting back from out of town, shooting another music video. But I'm back. We here in Bed-Stuy, Brooklyn, you know, on the block. Reporting live and direct.
Yo,
what's
Blue,
poppin'?
Listen, Blue, man, it's like we live in, and you give a perspective that this 44 perspective, this metaphysical perspective, this uplifting perspective behind pop culture that I think we all need to hear. And sometimes we could, you know, because like I said, we live in a social media era. Right. So many distractions, and the world can seem so horrible. It's like, damn, this world is fucked up. Every time we turn on the TV or go to Facebook or whatever. But it seems like, you know, and I'm gonna tell you, I refrained from talking about Trump for almost, before he got elected, we did several shows on him.
Right. Once
he got elected, I stopped doing a lot of shows. I said, I'm not giving him attention.
Yeah.
But there's a narrative.
We fell back and we let, you know, the theater play out as we called it would, you know, so. But
there's a particular narrative that I want to address because I want to redefine it. Right. And it's this narrative, well, one of many, but it just seems like with the whole situation with Omarosa, the black woman, and some people are calling her the spook who sat by the door. Some people saying she's just like Trump. She's the female version of Trump, and that's why they can't get along. It seems like the Apprentice in the White House, Blue.
Right.
It seems like the Apprentice in the White House, Blue. And what I want to, you know, I want to try to figure out, because it made me think about what's been happening with the Korean shops and the continued disrespect of black women, him calling Omarosa a dog. Whew. Like, that's as clear. I mean, you might as well just say bitch at that point.
She is a female, isn't she?
You might as well just say bitch at that point if you're going to say dog. You know what I'm saying?
She is a female, isn't she?
Man, listen.
A female dog is a bitch in the dog days, right after
Sirius, the
888, Lionsgate,
the Lion Gate
that we spoke to.
We just talked about that.
Orset and Isis, who is Sarthis, which is the female dog, the dog star. Candace Major, you know, so she's already typecast as a bitch. You feel me? And her personage and being outside of what Trump is calling her, she would be referred to in society, you know, her role on reality TV or theater for that matter. She is the proverbial archetype of, you know, a woman with a bitch-like attitude. You know, this is what the viewership pretty much consider her. You know what I'm saying? Because again, she's part of a scripted reality TV, and that's what she's typecast as. So yeah, you know, he tapped into a frequency or an agreed upon terminology that people in the back of their mind pretty much call her anyway. But he's doing it in the way that he does it. You know what I'm saying? With his Twitter fingers and using triggers.
Blue, what, you know, we was just out there with, in Brooklyn.
Yes.
The nail salon, that's in our neighborhood, so we felt it was right to go out there.
Which actually was located at 888.
I didn't even know that, Blue.
I didn't know it either until after the show, you know. So the very place that initiated you know, the protest that culminated, at least when we were there, with a 9-year-old child named Isis grabbing a bullhorn and breaking over the heavens and bringing forth the waters of noon. It pretty much washed up, tsunami. The Koreans got them up out of there. You feel me? The initial infraction took place at 888 Nostrand Avenue, you know, and we were out there the day before the 888 portal. So yes, so
the new one, Blue. This week, the sister getting punched.
Yes,
in the face. I mean,
punched in the face in Oklahoma and Tulsa, of all places.
You know what I noticed?
You know
what I noticed? A lot of brothers aren't like, for some brothers it's like extreme. Some brothers it's like, damn, that's fucked up. Other brothers is like, man, shit. That's when, you know, you want to be on the independent woman shit. When she raised her hand, you act like a man, you gonna get treated like a man. That seems to be the response, the sentiment that I'm seeing on social media.
Okay.
That black women have this stereotype of being so aggressive when they get treated in this manner. It's as if, you know, well,
she
shit.
She deserved it?
She, you know, like, yeah.
Right. She should stand down, or, you know, again, there had to seemingly be something that she did that made it plausible for somebody else to lose their cool. You know what I mean? She has to be at fault somehow. All right? Once again, because she's typecast as always being in fault. You know what I'm saying? We live in a society that blame the original sin on the woman. You feel me?
Right.
So she has already been typecast in this narrative. Shout out to Buddha Klink. She called it the Jesus Christ of narrative. We all grew up in this particular, you know, this script. And the way that it plays out subconsciously is you're always going to subconsciously house a level of blame when it comes to her, okay? Because the book told you she's responsible for original sin, right? So.
What's your thoughts on Omarosa, Blue? When you see what happened, do you feel sorry for her? Do you feel happy she's doing what she's doing with the secret recordings from the White House? Or you just don't give a damn about any of this? Like,
I mean, you know, Omarosa is the company that somebody like a Trump would keep, you know what I'm saying? And they say the dogs come with fleas or something like that. So if I wouldn't call her a dog, maybe she's the flea. You feel me? He's the dog. He's the one grabbing him by the pussy and kicking him in the ass. You feel what I'm saying? So she had a level of defense that's somewhat necessary in a theater of war like that. And she had to stack her decks. Those are her cards. You know, if she has the ability to expose him for the bigot that people have always been in somewhat debate about, you feel me? If she puts the debate to rest and gives you his true colors, you know what I'm saying, behind the veil, now what? I could give it to you, but what you gonna do with it? You dig what I'm saying? So she sacrificed, you know what I mean? And, you know, to have a hand to play at some point, because she had to have known, look, I need to secure a ace in the deck. So, some commentary, yeah. So, I feel that, yeah, she's cunning, you know what I'm saying? She has to be a shark in that particular environment. And I feel that, you know, there's nothing fair in love and war. So that's exactly how I view that situation, you know?
When you hear people say, people are quoting, I believe it's Malcolm X quote, the black woman is the most disrespected person on the face of the earth.
Right.
Do you think that still stands in 2018?
Absolutely. You know?
Mm-hmm. What would you say to, I mean,
this is, you know, again, this is a woman who not only is under attack, you know, by the alpha, quote unquote, of an entire other ethnicity, who would be, again, typecast as the quote-unquote proverbial enemy, you feel me? But she also seemingly is not afforded that which is supposed to come natural, which is the protection of her counterpart. There's no other woman in society that has that dynamic, you know what I'm saying? Whilst also being given the incredulous task of having to shoulder responsibility for being the mother of all creation. If you can't receive a level of defense and obedience from your own children, you know, what worth do you have on a planet that you would give birth to, but your firstborn is not even establishing that level of your worth, let alone saying that you're worthy to be defended? You dig what I'm saying? So you become proverbial food. And that's what you see with the children of the planet that have now been eating of the planet and putting toxins in the planet. And we're talking about Mother Earth. You know what I'm saying? We're talking about the grandmother of them all. You know what I mean? Even going back to this Monsanto case that we seen.
Oh, with the Roundup.
Yeah, with the Roundup. So if that's homie stories, imagine a million others. How can somebody be so diabolical, you feel me, to be in the agricultural business, or shield it and call it agriculture when it's really a biological chemical attack on the planet? You feel me? So yes, I think that what we see, if we're talking archetype, right? If we're talking symbolism and we're saying that, as the 5% say, she's the old earth, she's Mother Earth, you know what I'm saying? That's your old earth, that's the wisdom. You know, she's the earth and the moon. She has both feminine attributes working in her favor. You dig what I'm saying? And us being the sun, that there's aspects of elements that will correlate to her, such as the waters, the oceans, right? Look at the conditions of the waters. Look at the conditions of the ocean. You know what I'm saying? Look how we treat the ocean. Look how the earth has been treated. Both aspects, the earth, you know, the 30% of the earth, the 70% of the water, both have been decimated and desecrated and not defended by the very children that Mother Earth has given birth to. You dig what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So it's the same way in society that we see society denuding her worth, right? And her very children not willing to defend mama and edify her name every chance they get, you know? But they also now participating in that abuse. Let alone not defending her, they're also participating in that abuse. And once you get abused at the hand of the very man that's responsible for your safety and defense, it's free form for everybody else. They all gonna pile in, right? And we know the nature of the beast. You know what I'm saying? All of our education tells us what this man has done when he has come into close proximity of her and you can't defend her. We've heard the narratives, now we're living them out. You know what I mean? So you gotta ask yourself, is this a direct response of us being inundated with all of these stories about us being defenseless in the face of our women? Because we don't hear no stories of victory. And the first time you seen that shit was with the Django. That was a movie. Mm-hmm. You know? So my grandfather had always told me the oldest war on this planet was a one against female, against the feminine principle. He said she's always been under attack. And he used religion to show me how long this thing has been going on. You dig what I'm saying? So I only bear witness to the evidence of that. Everything that my grandfather ever told me, I bore witness to. So I look at life through that lens. That's my perspective. So when I do something that is in reverse of that, I'm doing it from that place. That I know that I'm not gonna get no help. That I know the niggas ain't gonna understand. That I know that I'm surrounded by niggas who not only hate women, but they hate their mamas. You feel me? And they're predators. You feel me? Like, they're predators. They're wolves in disguise. And the women are prey. You know? I've engaged in predatory behavior with women. You dig what I'm saying? Based on societal norms and the way that I was taught and brought up. The way that I seen it being done. You feel me?
Right.
Like, righteousness lost out in the late 70s to the pimps and the hustlers. You know, the women became a commodity as opposed to the asset, as opposed to, you know, a cherished asset, as opposed to the prize, as opposed to the thing that's worthy to go to war for and fight for. We don't even have that no more. You dig what I'm saying? So what mobilizes men to go to war? If it's not the defense of the women, the booty.
The booty.
So, once again, you have a people denuded from anything to even fight for. So them niggas is like, I'm not gonna get up off the gate. I'm not gonna get up off the crate. I'm not gonna motherfucking defend her. I'm gonna sit in front of this Korean store and defend the Korean store. We saw that with our own 2 eyes.
Yeah.
And then you seen it with the 3rd eye. We caught it on camera so you can see it yourself. That's where we at in society right now. So, to me, that's the final marker. That's the signaling that this shit is fucking, you know, at a pinnacle point where it's damn near over. If you can't or are not willing to defend the women of a society or community, then how can you even, you know, hope to repopulate or propagate in society, period, with the women who don't feel safe? Because they're not going to be in the best standard of production. The chemicals that they release into their womb when they're in fear are going to cripple the chances of a child having productive development. You know what I'm saying? So it's not going to be hard to wipe away the weaker seeds that are going to be produced from the weaker wombs. This shit will be a wrap in 2 or 3 generations. Mark my words. Unless you niggas is really betting on a miracle. So, this is how it's done. Like I said, and these are the marks of it. Okay? And these are the signs, the harbingers of fucking full-flown disasters in our community if we can continue to approach it with this passive approach that preying on it or being optimistic about the shit is gonna turn the tide. You feel me? When it's not in the heart of men. It's not in the heart of men. We just passed through the Lion's Gate. My G, it's not in the hearts of men. How you gonna reverse men's hearts? Huh? A heart has 4 fucking valves in it, my nigga. It's not just a singular reversal. You know, you gotta hit 4 quadrants in order to ease up and start reversing that tide. So rhetoric alone is not gonna get it. You know, it's gonna be some drastic action that has to take place, right? I had to normalize the conversation when we were out there in Brooklyn by making it personal for people. The only way we were able to get answers out of them was when I started asking them, well, what if it happened to your mother specifically? And then they were able to humanize it. Mm-hmm. Whoa, oh, hold on, since you say it like that, well, God damn it, why wasn't it like that prior to that? Why was there so much separation? You know? Because, oh, that's not my mama. That
so
wasn't my man.
I mean, and I get that though. Honestly, we're all gonna react differently.
Right.
If that was our mother, our daughter, or our sister out there, than if it was a stranger that we never ever have met before. And like a lot of people will be like, no, it won't. But a lot of people are lying. It's like instinct, like that emotional connection you have with your wife that you sleep with every night, or that your mother that you was raised by for 30-something years, is going to cause you to turn up a little more than the average person. So that's why we get the phrase, shit, if that was my mother, or shit, if that was, we always say, if that was, I would have went crazy. So I mean, is that, are you saying that that's not an excuse at this point? Because it seems like everybody's going on that. I know if that was your sister, Blue, you wouldn't be out there holding a mic, just talking. It might be, Blue might have been turned up a little more than that, if we just being honest. Or if that was Mama Pill.
If we're being honest, my organization around that particular turnout would have been more active, and the directive of what it is that I wanted outcome-wise would have been more clear.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? But me blowing my top necessarily, I don't know if that would have been my approach per se. You know, it's all based on stratagem. You know what I'm saying? So yes, if it were a particular situation where it was somebody that was a little bit more directly affected from my, you know, from my bloodline, from my life, you know what I'm saying, that I gotta look in their face every single day, and their dignity is what I have to defend directly because that's my direct. Yeah, you would see a different level of approach, you know what I'm saying, a little bit more active. But the fact that I'm still at home and I pick my phone up and I'm minding my business, but this is what pops up on autoplay on my phone and I can't make it through the whole video, I was disturbed in my spirit to say, well, goddamn, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. This ain't right. I know right from wrong. You know what I'm saying? I know something, or should I say, because it's more of a feeling than anything. Yes, I didn't even have to know the story to know enough that I didn't like how it necessarily, you know, sat and stirred with me. And it made me think about, you know what I mean, grandmothers. It made me think about community. It made me think about certain things. And when I did the research and found out that this was something somewhere that was in an area where I once lived, you know what I'm saying, and grew up, then I was like, damn, you know, that's somebody in the community. That's a grandmother, you know. Me, you know what I mean, just coming from the islands and being around grannies and just having this conversation dealing with Nia Wilson, you know what I mean, and her name being Purpose, and, you know, us frontlining and just having all of this awareness about these lunar cycles, these feminine, divine feminine lunar cycles, us speaking on the analogy about Leo and the king and what is the role of a man and what is the role of a king, you know, not only in his own castle, but in his community as well. I feel compelled to say, look, we should not, none of us be cool with things like that taking place in these communities, and our women are not worthy for, you know, backhands from any ethnicity, let alone our own. But let's be clear, you know what I'm saying? There's a high percentage of that has taken place in our community that not only continues to take place, but we have bore witness to in our younger years growing up. There's not too many families or not too many young men who have not seen that level of aggression meted against a woman that they either love or respect, or had once at one point loved or respected. So we be like, you know, I don't see nothing wrong there. Truthfully, that's what we saying to ourselves. Like, oh, I'd have beat her ass too. I'd have beat her ass worse, matter of fact. You feel me? Or we just laughing in our spirit. You see how she hit that bitch?
Blue, do you think, let's talk real quick about reality TV.
Yes.
Ah, man, I think the first reality show I've ever seen was The Real World, and that was years ago. They was ahead of their time before, you know, Love and Hip Hop and all of the new shows that we've seen within the last 10 years.
That probably was the first reality show.
Yeah, it seems like reality TV has changed. I don't know if it's changed or have made the perception of black women 100 times worse. So that when we see people in public, when people see black women, they're like, shit, man, these motherfuckers is animals.
Right.
Because of what they see. And you know, regular TV wasn't great the way they was portraying us, but reality TV, Blue, took it to another level of ratchetness. It made people think that every day at dinner, we get into a fight. And we throw water. Yeah. And because, like you told me off camera, because reality is attached to that, the programming is different. It's just a different type of programming. It's like when you read a fiction and a non-fiction book, the thought process is a little different. You're like, oh shit, this really happened though.
Right, but imagine if they just took that one word, non, and put it in front of a fiction story that would change how you interact and interface with that entire novel.
Right,
That entire, you're looking for the reality in something that a minute ago was seemingly unreal. And it's the same thing with the TV, the fact that they call it reality. People that are actually participating in real life reality are now looking towards TV to get the triggers on how to program real reality or how life is being led in other places that they're envious of, right? Because people got shinier shit. I already told you the shiny shit theory that I got.
The shiny shit theory.
Okay.
Wow, could you elaborate that? I like that. That's interesting. The shiny shit theory. Could you elaborate, brother?
The shiny shit theory is that when you hear people from our hoods and our communities normally say what? It was a shiny set of rims, right? That put an impression upon them when they were children, and because they seen nigga rolling by in rims that were spinning and shiny, right? Diamond in the back, sun rooftop and all of that, that they had now decided that they were going to follow this person in whatever pursuit of ill-gotten gains that they had now pursued in, because they were infatuated, infected by shiny shit. Okay? When dudes popped up with the gaudy ropes, you know what I'm saying, and they had that shiny shit, the fact that Nana used to tell you they're all gold, everything that glitter ain't gold, you know what I'm saying? Just because you see this person shining in this particular portrayal of a lifestyle don't make that lifestyle glittery. You understand? When you contract and you pick that pack up, you have initially, right, created this imaginary artificial line to say anybody who crosses this line off with their head. But what are you really doing this shit for? For you to gain some shiny shit. You know what I'm saying? You say that you do it for Nana, but you have now made Nana's life a tad bit more difficult, because Nana can now seemingly and silently become a target, not only from your direct retribution, but you've put, or you can have additionally put an extra fiend into the hood that made it more dangerous for her. You know what I'm saying? On some Batman shit when Bruce Wayne's parent, or some Spider-Man shit when his uncle got caught in the back alley, and the person that he refuses to actually be vigilant towards ends up becoming the same person that shatters their life, and causing that youthful drama that transforms all of these children. We out here dealing with childhood drama, shit that happened to kids when they was 5, 6, 7 years old. That's what they're carrying on through life. So these vital points and these vital times and these children's developmental years is, you know, what it is that we seemingly have just lost the grip of in terms of defending, you know what I mean? So now we have broken adults, and we're looking towards broken adults to pick up fragmented shit that's broken in society. But then they're looking at programming of broken children that are now sitting there as broken adults around a table breaking glass, okay? And that's what we're looking towards. The fragments of that shit is how people are putting their lives together. How about that? Shiny shit theory.
Wow. So we got reality TV, Blue. We got the changing perception of women. Chivalry is at an all-time low. I don't even know if it exists anymore. Do you think as a man, we look at a woman more as competition instead of being like a opposite?
Well, now, you know,
because she's in the jungle with us now.
That's what I'm saying. These are the stories that I'm getting in real time from women who are actively in the jungle, and they're telling me that they are intimidating, you know, men who are possible quarters of theirs, because these men are now fellas. Okay, these men are saying, look, I'm intimidated at the fact that you make more money than me. You know what I mean? That has now become something that challenges a man's quote-unquote manhood, where he seemingly can't wrap his mind around that, because it puts her in a different, you know, role. You know, and there's a level of role reversal that if he's not the provider, is he being provided for? You know what I mean? So, I mean, that's something that he has within himself in regards to how he approaches this woman in this relationship, even how they deal with finances as a couple. Because I grew up in a household, matter of fact, where my father was clear. He used to tell me, yo, this was his, he was with my stepmother at the time. He was like, yo, she make more than me, you feel me? But we put our money together as a family into one pot, and I saw how as a team, as a unit, they were able to get so much further because they were able to provide us with an environment or a setting that was conducive to our growth and development about thinking outside of the proverbial box. You know, they was moving on up like the Jeffersons. And that could not have been done if he wasn't a team player in that dynamic to say, hey, it is what it is, but we in it to win it as a family, as a unit. We're not looking at one another's pockets. We're putting it in a pot.
You know, I was talking to the sister.
And I mean, like, I don't remember my stepmother used to shop in Spiegel's. So, had she been part of this reality and she needed a Hermes bag, or you know, Fendi, or you know, a Bergen bag, or what have you, hey, again, she might have the extra income and finances to support that herself. You know what I'm saying? But if she was chasing that particular dream and draining from the pond, that proverbial pot or that pool that they were putting together to create these new realities, you know, utilizing finances for what the shit is there for, you know what I mean? Then it probably would have put more of a strain on my father. But that appetite wasn't there at the time. I don't remember sisters having to have $2,500 bags and $300 shoes like every single pair. You know what I mean? $500 a week on the hair and everything. You know, get you a $50 wig and a wig net. You feel me? And be brushing that shit during the week like it's a doll, like it's your Barbie.
But they competing with the vixens now. Hold up, these girls got fake ass. This competition now.
Again, yeah. They're competing with women who now have a different pay grade based on the fact that they can make $2,500 a night. You know what I'm saying? 10 racks a week if they on fire, you know. And there's other women that, you know, have just put a level of financial investment into quote unquote artificial sense of beauty, you know what I mean? That has kind of like upped the whole ante. So, yeah.
You know, so I was, last question / comment, I was talking to a sister, and she was telling me about the channel, and she reads the comments, and not just my channel, but a lot of the comments on YouTube, and she sees how black men, you know, they feel as though, she thinks black men feel as though black women, they're like the protectors of white supremacy, and they're the ones upholding it, and they're the ones on the jobs and the corporations, and they're the ones, you know, protecting daddy white man and all of that. And the sister said that what black men don't understand is that we play two different roles in this system. And what she meant when she said that they have to be there every single day for a kid. The man has the option of coming in and out, or just being a weekend dad, or seeing the kid every month. But the sister said when you're there every day, it's a whole different dynamic. It's a whole different fear in your mind. It's a whole different thought process in your mind. When you got to take a kid to school, pick a kid up from school, dress them, bathe them, get a haircut, buy sneakers. It's a whole different process that a man will never understand unless he was in that situation. So she felt as though because we are, you know, men are out there hunting, and men are, you know, some of them have kids with multiple baby moms, and they may see their kid once every 2 weeks and give them $200 and think that they're the best dad on the face of the earth. Yeah, I'm not saying that they're not.
Fathering, right.
But to be there every single day is an animal that a man will never understand, she told me. Could you comment on that? Because I guess what she's saying is that they have to think different than what we think. They can't afford that kid. Somebody got to take care of that mother. They can't take a week off like we take a week off.
These are different dynamics.
Not me, you know. I'm not taking a week off.
These are different dynamics during this particular time in our lifetime that we see women living under, where yes, they are forced to be very creative on their feet. You know, they were left, you know what I'm saying, holding the bag, and that's one hell of a ball to juggle, you know what I mean? And I almost liken them to the picture of Atlas holding up the earth, the female version.
Ooh.
You know what I'm saying? Because they are juggling multiple worlds. You're responsible for raising, you know, the majority of times, a young melanated child, a young man. So again, if we get into this whole theory, this proverbial theory about the black woman as God, right? Who's qualified to protect God? You understand? Who's qualified to protect God? Because if she's God, then she needs no protection. Nobody's qualified to protect her. But as, you know, the conjoinment of God, then she can actually raise a young God on how to be a God, and that God by proxy will always want to protect that which is closest or connected to God. So it's a conjoinment, you know what I'm saying? But this thing that we put this weight on her where she's God, she's responsible for everything, because God has all the answers. A woman wants to be led, provided for, given security, feeling safe, right? God's looking for safety. God shouldn't be looking for safety. You know what I mean? So again, we have to reorient how we're looking at these situations. You understand what I'm saying? She is forced at this particular time to be able to provide, as well as, you know, in the case with, you know, young ladies in my life that I dialogue with, and the stories that not only did they tell me, but I bear witness to, they are forced to go through this process of self-discovery, you know what I mean? While they're also raising young children and teaching them not only the things that they know, but shielding them from, you know, the things that they know might not be necessarily good for them, but they're also learning there's things that they don't know that they're learning from their children at this particular point. And with all that being said, with them being in school and classroom with children, as well as physical classroom with classmates trying to get degrees and better their lives so they can provide for themselves and their children, with all of that going on, they can't miss one day. You know what I mean? The child got to be to the day sitter at a particular time. They got to be at the class at a particular time. You know what I'm saying? Getting out of class, they got to go pick that child back up at a particular time. They got to beat traffic to do that. Get home and do the homework, cook for the child, bathe the child, put the child to sleep. You know what I mean? And they got to get some of that Monday night TV in, because they got to keep up with the Joneses. All that being done. You know what I mean? And they got to do it all over again without being consoled and held and told that you're beautiful or reinforced that they're superwomen. You know what I'm saying? They got invisible capes out here, and niggas are still excited when they see motherfucking T'Challa. You know? That's my new BlackBerry phone family. The ringer is kind of crazy. She looking for T'Challa.
Hold
you know?
Hold up.
So, we're seeing, you know, a level of evolution. Because I don't know if she's ever been under these conditions. You know, even under quote-unquote slavery, when the family was separated, there was still a unit that provided support. You know what I mean? There was still somebody there, you know. There were still men willing to step up and be the step parent even at that time if she was sent to another plantation. And I'm telling you, based on what I read in books and what I seen in the movies, okay? Even in the movies, they show a brother was willing to step up. Her husband could have got quartered. You know what I'm saying? Somebody was still willing to step up. There still was a knowledge and a gnosis of family and how family is supposed to come together. You know, that's not happening in this society. She's being left to carry the weight, and then she's being judged on how she can juggle that weight. Oh, you weak, bitch. You know what I'm saying? You're not worthy. You feel me? Like, where's her help at? It's not coming by way of once one brother steps out on a situation, it's society, it's the village, it's extended family, it's community stepping in to fill the void. So,
what do you think she's doing wrong? That's woman in particular.
What is she doing wrong?
What is she doing wrong to contribute to this? What's going on? What we're talking about here? Is it her pick of men? Is it her independent attitude? Is there anything you feel as though,
you know, because we don't advocate victimhood over here, everybody has to hold a level of the weight in this particular story. I wouldn't want to call it blame, but yes, you know, and I will ask you, you know what I'm saying, my sisters out there, you know, are you following all of the intuitive signals that you get? Are you following your brain or your heart? Is there a conversation between both of them that's coherent enough where you, as the observer and the listener, are you listening to that conversation and choosing what you want to hear? So these are questions that they will have to answer themselves so they could sit and where they're at with the truth of what's being said. You know, what's your part that you play in this dynamic? You know, or were you just raised in a particular way that was off, like we was raised, and you know, two offs don't make an on. You dig what I'm saying? And we not seeing people get on these days, you know. But Offset got a marriage with a baby, you know what I'm saying? But there's no onsets. So the onset of the situation is Nana's continuously, you know, on her own, but she's making it happen. And that's the you know, we don't do enough to find those victory stories, you know what I'm saying? The ones that were actually full-fledged accomplishment. I know so many women that work so hard to keep everything intact. You dig what I'm saying? It's like super dignified seeing them do what it is that they do to keep everything in place. You know, all of the pieces, there's so many moving pieces of parenting, you know.
Yeah.
And financial contributions is not enough. You know what I'm saying? That's not nurturing, raising, that's not teaching the child, that's not giving the child the repetition of images where they can formulate, that's my hero. I like how they move. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. This is what I seen Dad do in a tight situation. This is how I seen him problem solve. This is how I seen him wake up, you know, with a good attitude versus a bad attitude, or end up with a bad attitude but finish the day on a good note. You know what I'm saying? This is how I seen him count money. This is how I seen him, if necessary, knock a nigga out. You feel me? It's sometimes necessary for the psychology of a child to bear witness to. I got that from AA, so I got to give him his credit. So these things are very necessary. You know, I was telling you earlier that I got a dosage this past weekend of a bunch of shows from Ayanla Vincent, right? Fix My Life. Okay, shout out to the sister. I used to be resistant to that program because I saw the DMX one and I kind of didn't agree with her approach, but in hindsight, knowing what DMX was going through, I kind of get it. You know, you got to approach that with a level of aggression to break through, you know what I'm saying? That sort of, those walls that get put up by people that are struggling with addiction. So what she had in common with all of the people that she brought forward on her show was childhood trauma. You know what I'm saying? The fact that children were traumatized at the age of 5, 6, and 7, and now she had a, you know, grown folk, 45, 44, you know, however years old, still suffering from childhood trauma, unresolved issues, mommy issues, daddy issues, you know what I'm saying? The pain of this, the trauma of that. And they just weren't able to push forward and break through, and they have been repeating, right, broken cycles ever since, and continuing to break people that they come into contact with. So it's so important as parents, right, to understand that there is an art to parenting. There's an art to it. And the majority of it, right, the positive, affirmative, productive aspects of it, it deals with the proximity of parenting. You know what I'm saying? The fact that a child needs dual parents in the house. Mm-hmm. And if the fact that if one parent has to shoulder that for their entire life, you know, there should be some support for that parent. And things are getting nasty out here. There are gonna people that see this and they're gonna go in the comments and tell me about their child support. And this bitch ain't no good because of X, Y, and Z. And there's pain. I can feel the pain.
That's gonna come in them comments.
I can feel the pain making. I'm so empathetic to the pain. I can feel the pain while I'm making this video saying it. I can hear it. And I apologize, you know what I'm saying? I offer you brothers, you know, an ethereal hug that you will release, somehow find a way to deal with that pain. You understand? Because we are not gonna be able to gain dealing with pain. You know, the only way that you're gonna gain dealing with pain is you take your ass in the gym, all right? Other than that, they're gonna need to raise the roof in this gymnasium. You know, all of the it's just a lot of pain on both sides going around. You know, and children, they keep saying this, Brother Rich, tell me if you've heard this saying, because I might be bugging, right? They say children are like sponges.
Yeah.
What you think they soaking up?
Sure.
We can't be real with ourselves and come outside in these streets and see that these children, you know, when they're wringing out, you know, they're wringing out pain pellets. We can't see that. So who's responsible? You gonna keep blaming Trump? Is that the scapegoat? That's the guy that you've been waiting to come along for so long to say that, oh, he's gonna be the reason that the psychosis of our children for the next 20, 30, and 40 years is gonna be so damaged and shattered. We're gonna only blame Trump, right? You know? So at some point, we gotta decide what it is that we're gonna do. The proverbial we and they and this, that, and the other. Of course, these conversations are always personalized. So whoever you are, listen to this sitting in your living room or looking at it on your phone, I'm talking to you. You know, you have to come to a level of personal resolve with yourself. Just to ask yourself daily, am I exerting or exemplifying or engaging in the highest level of appreciation for self? Because I have come out of this weekend with a new definition, or I've consecrated what my definition of love is. Love is the highest appreciation for a thing. Okay, that's my definition of love. That's the way that I've been able to simplify it, you know, and put it in a context that you can understand it. So whatever it is that you're doing, family, that exemplifies the highest level of appreciation of whatever it is that you're doing, then that's your love frequency. You know what I'm saying? And that emits a particular frequency. And my brother 19 Keys just said it the other day. Your frequency is what you do frequently. You dig what I'm saying? So this should become a daily practice of yours. You know, random acts of kindness. If you know a single mother, I told 3 single mothers today alone, just randomly, just based on conversations that I was having, how good of a mother they are.
That's what's
you know what I'm saying? Edifying, lifting, they need the help and support. I don't know all of their situations. You know what I'm saying? I don't know who they are behind closed doors when they on the phone with the baby father. You know what I'm saying? And this is not to disrespect you, brother. I'm just saying, in the meantime, while we work it out, she needs the help and support, if not financially, emotionally, if not physically. You know what I'm saying? Because she's carrying one hell of a burden, and that's that's raising a young God. Let's be for real. You know what I mean? That's one hell of an obligation to put on this woman who you say is secondary but necessary, but she's left to raise a young God. So,
And leave your contact info, my brother, so they could get at you, my brother.
Blue Pillar 44 at Gmail if you have any inquiries. If you have any comments as well, because I ain't going into the comment section on this one. All right? So you want to email me, we could talk about it, you know what I'm saying? We should have a Ianza Von Sant type show, which could at some point culminate into a retreat. So once again, I can utilize the skills that I have tamed to deal with sacred plants to help you go a little bit further to deal with the trauma, because the rhetoric alone, that's not gonna cut through it. You know what I'm saying? I could put these healing hands on you as well, but I can't do it through the screen. You feel me? Some people are gonna be able to feel this energy, but some people are gonna need something more. So, you know, I wanna help the situation. You know what I mean? I know what level of deep level intracellular chelation sort of healing is needed with this. We're gonna need them sacred plants to push a little bit further into the deep zone and get this healing involved, you know what I'm saying? Because once again, the recipients of either the burdens or the blessings is the babies. Okay?
Indeed.
Peace, love, and light. Blue Pillar 44 on Instagram. Sign up.
Make sure y'all sign up to the Patreon family.
Yeah.
We got a quick announcement, Blue.
Shout out to the
We
Patreons.
got Brother Panic with his own show on the Patreon page now. Coming once a month, yeah.
That's
we got KT the Arch Degree with his own show, a cooking show.
Quality.
KT the Arch Degree has a cooking show. Brother Panic has a show, metaphysical show. The first episode is the Melanated Guide to the Astral World.
This is going somewhere. I like that. I'm gonna have to tune into that.
Yo, so family, they're gonna be it's gonna be episodes every month. I'm gonna get other speakers on board as well.
Right.
But stay tuned, family. It's
real
gonna
quick,
be
because we got some moves that we're making this upcoming weekend and the week afterwards. So let me make these announcements. I got to pay these bills. Shout out to Professor Griff.
Shout out Griff.
Shout out Griff. Shout out Soleil. We're gonna see Griff in a second.
With Soleil. Shout out to both of them.
Yeah, did a thing. Shout out to the Return of the Gods and the Goddesses. Went down this past weekend in San Diego. I tried to attend at the last minute. I dragged my feet on that. I apologize. You know what I'm saying? Beautiful event. Beautiful young sisters putting that event together. You know what I mean? And yeah, that's, you know, a beautiful thing that more people in the community need to support, should support. Their sisters in the community that are putting on wonderful productions, you know what I'm saying, pulling things together, making it happen. Single mothers need to be saluted. God damn, bro. Fear of a Black Planet 2, Media, Music, and the Manipulation of the Black Mind. This is going down at this is on August 18th. All right, this is going down at Baltimore. This is in Baltimore. Tickets are $30 in advance, $25 early bird, $35 at the door. All right. And August 19th, we're going to be at Everlasting Life. I believe that's what it's called. This is the Enemy Decoded, Preparation for Victory. All right, this is August 19th. Everlasting Life in Capitol Heights, Maryland. Okay, and the weekend of August 25th and 26th. All right, at the House of Consciousness, West 35th Street in Norfolk, Virginia. August 25th and 26th. There's a 2-day lecture. Professor Griff, Red and Blue Pill. There's gonna be 1-day lecture. Okay, and on the second day, there's gonna be performances off that Twin album. Twin the movie is coming. Please, please understand that you are on notice. This is about to shift the paradigm. Shout out to the paradigm shifters. This is gonna change the game. Shout out to my brother Kambata. All right, Holy Ghost EP is still in stores. It's still the reigning #1 album from last year. So make sure
we getting a lot of that streaming money, man. I want to thank
that streaming money
everybody for streaming,
because that's their daily motivational workout. They gotta put. We're gonna need to all that. You dig what I'm saying? So check us out, family. We are on the move. We're bringing this cloth talk to a town near you. Be in the building. Make sure you don't miss out. Peace, love, and light. We're going to see you soon. All right, we got more dates coming. More wonderful stuff cooking up for the family. All right. Peace, love, and light, y'all.
Peace.